Okay, hi. I'm live, right? Yep. Hi, welcome to my yoga class. My name is Carla. I will be teaching a 1 hour Vinyasa yoga class today. Well, it's going to be a 50-minute flow and the 10-minute meditation slash shavasana at the end. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So find a comfortable seat on the mat with your sit bones firmly on the mat. Place both hands on your thighs and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And then one more time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And take a moment here to set your intention today for your practice. Whatever it may be, just something true to you. And we're going to practice a little mindfulness to get us here into this moment, into the now. So start by just checking in with your surroundings. With your eyes closed, just feel the energy around you, feel the temperature of the room, feel the mat underneath you, supporting you, holding you up. Feel the clothes on your body, how your hands feel against your thighs. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. We're going to start first with a little mind-body-breath connection. So we're going to start by lifting up our arms all the way up towards the top, but you want your hands to follow your breath. So as your arms start to go up, you want to start inhaling. When your hands reach the top of your head and they meet, you want this to be the top of your inhale. And then as you exhale, you want to slowly bring those arms down, following your breath. At the very bottom of your exhale, you want your hands to touch the mat. We're going to do this 5 more times. Just connecting our body to our breath. And then one last time, as you inhale, bring those arms up. Let your hands come to the top. Bring yourself to the top of your inhale and start exhaling as you lower the arms. Now, if you have socks on or a blanket or any extra clothes, I invite you to take them off now. So we're going to spread the legs apart. Place your hands on your thighs. And as you inhale, you want to slide your left hand over to the left, down towards your left ankle. When you've gone as far as you can go, lift up that right hand. As you inhale, exhale, bring it all the way over to the left. Feel a deep stretch in that right side. Now on your next inhale, you're going to lift yourself back up to center. Place that right hand on the right shin and start sending your right hand over down towards your right ankle. When you've gone as far as you can go, lift up that left hand and send it over to the right. Feel a deep stretch in that right side. On your next inhale, bring up that left hand, bring yourself back to center, and place both hands in front of you. With both hands in front, take a deep breath in, lift the chest, and as you exhale, start slowly walking forward. When you've gone as far as you can go, bow the head. For the best stretch possible, really feel your knees pressing down into the mat. On your next inhale, slowly walk your way back up, and then meet me in table. Once you're in table, you want your hands and knees and shins to be flat against the mat, with your hands directly underneath the shoulders and the knees directly underneath the hips. Once you're in the right position, you're going to inhale, and as you inhale, you're going to tilt the hips forward, arch the back, lift the chest, lift the chin, and press the middle of the spine down towards the mat. Then as you exhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone in and bring the center of the spine up towards the ceiling. And we're going to do this one more time. Arch the spine, look up. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, push the spine up, tuck the chin. Let your spine come back to a resting place in its center. And you want to flip the toes so that the bottom of the toes are touching the mat. Here we're going to squeeze the core, engage the arms, the triceps. And as you inhale, you want to lift up your knees about 2 inches. You want to keep your back flat and just breathe. We're going to hold this for 2 breaths. And on your last breath, you want to straighten the knees and push that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Here we're going to walk out our dog. You want to really feel your hands pushing off against the mat, creating space in the armpits. And now we're going to walk out our dog. So bend one knee and push the opposite heel down. And you want to keep doing this, just switching back and forth, really pushing that tailbone up and pulling those heels down, creating length and really stretching out the back of the legs. And then come back to center. Let the feet find a comfortable resting place in dog. And on your next inhale, we're going to slowly walk our way up towards the top of the mat. Let the hands meet the feet. Put a slight bend in the knees here. And as you inhale, you want to sweep the arms up. You want to sweep the arms up. There we go. Sweep the arms up and let them meet at the top of your head. With your hands together, you're going to lift the spine up, lift the chest, pull the shoulders back, and slowly push the pelvis forward as you exhale for a little back bend. And on your next inhale, you want to come up. As you exhale, you're going to release the arms. You want them to clasp together behind your back. Take a deep breath in. Pull your knuckles back behind you towards the wall, towards the back wall. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to bring the chest forward and down, and you're going to let your arms come up and over your head. So here you should be feeling a deep stretch in the hamstrings, in the back of the legs, and in the chest. Then on your next exhale, you want to release the hands. Let them come down towards the feet. Place both hands on your shins, straighten the elbows, and look up. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you want to bring that chest down, bring your head towards your knees, and place both hands back onto the mat. You want to walk out into high plank with the shoulders directly underneath the hands. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to bring the knees down to the mat, flip the toes so the tops of the toes are touching the mat. And on your next exhale, you're going to send the chest forward and the elbows back. So you want your chin to touch the mat first, then the chest, and then inhale, lift up, straighten those elbows, and bring the chest up for upward dog. And we're going to shoot right back into dog. but transition through table. So inhale, bend those knees, come into table, flip the toes so the bottom of the toes are touching the mat, and straighten the legs. On your next inhale, you're going to slowly lift up that left leg, right high to the sky. Make circles with the ankle. Now make circles the other way. Take a deep breath in. Bring that ankle up a little bit higher, and then as you exhale, bend that left knee, bring it into your chest. Bring yourself forward so your shoulders are directly above your wrists. And we're just going to hold for a breath. And then on your next exhale, you're going to place your foot in between the hands. For high. Take a moment here, come up onto just the fingertips. Make sure the hips are squared, the pelvis is pointing directly down. Let both feet and both legs engage. Really straighten that back right leg. Engage that left thigh. Squeeze the core. And on your next inhale, we're going to lift up the arms and the chest for a high lunge. And as you exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Here you want your knee to be right over that ankle. We're going to hold for one more breath. And then as you exhale, you want to bring down that right hand, keeping the left hand up. Twist the shoulders over to the left. And as you exhale, slowly bring down that right hand, come up onto the right fingertips, and twist over to the left for a revolved side angle. Now as you exhale, you want to bring down that left hand, but you want to bring it on the inside of the left leg. Come onto those left fingertips, and as you inhale, you want to turn over to the right, stretch up that right arm, look up at your thumb for a side angle. Then on your next exhale, bring down that right arm, walk that left hand so it's framing, so now it's on the outside of that left leg. And on your next inhale, we're going to hop the right foot so that it's next to the left. And keep, when both of the feet meet, you want to keep those knees bent. Now keeping the knees bent, you want to sweep both arms behind you. Really take a second here, engage both thighs, both glutes. Then on your next inhale, you're going to sweep the arms up and sink down into chair. In chair, you want to focus on keeping a straight line between the arms and the spine. Hold this for 2 more breaths. Make sure you're really breathing here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to straighten the legs and come up. Reach those arms up high. Take a moment, bring yourself to center. Then take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to sweep those arms down and bring the chest down. Place both hands on the shins, straighten the elbows, lengthen the spine, and look up as you inhale. And on your next exhale, you want to send the head down, send the hands down. Place both hands onto the mat and walk out into a high plank. You want those shoulders to be directly above those wrists. Take a deep breath in, and on your next exhale, you want those knees to come down. Flip the toes so the tops of the toes are touching the mat. And now as you exhale, you want the chest to come forward and again, the elbows to go back. You want those elbows to stay in close to the sides of your torso. As you go down, you want the chin to meet the mat first, then the chest. And then as you inhale, straighten those elbows, push the chest up. Lengthen the spine. And on your next inhale, you're going to bend those knees, come into table, and we're going to go directly into dog. So flip those toes so the bottom of the toes are touching the mat. Squeeze the core and straighten the legs. Push the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Let's just breathe in our dog for 1 minute here, or not an actual minute, but for a couple of breaths. Take a moment, really feel those back legs lengthening, feel that spine lengthening. And then on your next inhale, you're gonna lift up that right leg. Bring it high to the sky. We're gonna do circles with that ankle now. Now do circles the other way. And on your next exhale, you wanna bend that right knee, bring it into your chest, and push forward so that your shoulders are right on top of the wrists. Here you wanna squeeze the core, push off of those hands, really create space between your chest and the mat. And you wanna place that right foot right in between those hands. Come up onto both fingertips and make your hands like little tents. Really straighten that back leg, push that heel down. You want to bend your knee so it's directly on top of the ankle. And here, engage both legs. Squeeze the core. And on your next inhale, you're going to bring the chest and both arms up with your biceps right next to those ears. As you exhale, slowly sink down a little bit deeper. We want that pelvis to be shooting straight down towards the mat, not forward or back. Take 2 breaths here. Really build some heat in the legs. And then take a deep inhale. Feel that chest lift. And as you exhale, slowly bring down that left arm, keeping the right up. Send the chest down along with the left. Let your left hand come down, but come up just onto those fingertips. Lift up that right hand. So that your so that your arms are making a T. And look up at that right thumb for revolved side angle. You still want weight to be in those legs and not your arms fully carrying. Then as you exhale, slowly bring that right hand down on the inside of that right foot or right leg. Keeping those thighs engaged, you want to slowly twist over to the left and lift up that left arm. Look up at your left thumb for side angle. Then as you exhale, bring down that left hand. Move the right hand so that it's on the outside of the right leg. Put most of your weight in that front right foot. Squeeze the core, and as you inhale, you're going to bring that left foot to meet the right. Bend the knees here. Sweep both arms behind you. And as you inhale, you want to sweep those arms up and then sink down for chair. Here you want to feel that tailbone tucking. But you want to send those arms up and that tailbone down. So you're creating a straight line between the arms and the spine. We're going to hold this for 1 more breath. Then as you inhale, straighten those legs, come up. Let the arms lift up towards the ceiling. Lift up that chest. Take a deep breath here. Bring yourself back to center. And then as you exhale, you want to sweep those arms down. The chest goes with them. Let your hands come down by your feet. As you inhale, place those hands onto those shins. Straighten the elbows, lengthen the spine, and look up. And then on your next exhale, you want to send those hands down, send the head down. Place both hands onto the mat, and you want to walk out into a high plank with those shoulders directly above the wrists. You want your legs and glutes. You just want your whole body to be engaged here. On your next exhale, you're going to bring those knees down towards the mat. Flip the toes so that the tops of the toes are touching. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, shoot those elbows back, that chest forward. Bring the chin down first, then the chest, and then as you inhale, straighten those elbows, bring the pelvis down. For upward dog. And tilt the chin upwards. Then on your next inhale, we're going to come into table. And this time, we're going to spread out our knees so that the knees are touching the outsides of the mat. You're going to take a deep breath in. And on your next exhale, you want to send those sit bones down, or those hip bones down, and slowly walk the hands forward. Bring the forehead down onto the mat. And take a few breaths here in extended child. I invite you to take a moment here to return back to this moment if your mind has wandered. We're going to practice a little bit more mindfulness to bring us back to center. So once again, feel the mat underneath your body supporting you. With your eyes closed, check in with your surroundings. Feel the temperature of the room, the energy around you. Feel your clothes on your body. And then do a little check-in. How does your body feel? Does it need anything? Does it want anything from you? When you feel present, or whenever you're ready, walk those hands back towards you. Come up onto those knees and come back into table. From table, you're going to once again flip those toes. So at the bottom of the toes are touching the mat. Squeeze that core. And on your next inhale, we're going to send that tailbone up, straighten those knees. We're going to be pushing down those heels and pressing up that tailbone, creating as much length in the back of the legs as possible. And then on your next inhale here, you're going to slowly lift up that left leg, bring it high to the sky, bend that left knee, push that left heel into the left glute and send it over the right. We're going to send it over the right, but you want your shoulders to stay parallel to the mat, not twist. So this is mainly just a hip flexor and left side stretch and a little bit of the thigh. And on your next exhale, you're going to send that knee all the way into the chest. And we're going to push forward here. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring that knee down. You might have to walk the back foot back a little bit, but you're going to bring that left knee down. You're going to turn it. You're going to turn your heel outward a little bit more to the left and place that right leg or right foot flat on the mat. You want that right knee to be straight. Press that left hand down into the mat. You still want your shoulders to be directly above the wrists. Squeeze the core here, and on your next inhale, we're going to lift up that right hand for a little side plank. Really feel your right hand reaching up towards the ceiling, and that left hand pressing down. And on your next inhale, we're going to squeeze the core. We're going to lift up that right leg. On your next exhale, you're going to send that right arm over to the left. And let your right bicep come next to that right elbow. Next to that right ear, sorry. So you want your right leg to be stretching back behind you, or I guess over to the right. And you want your right hand to be stretching over to the left. And then on your next exhale, lower down that right leg. Bring up that right arm. And as you exhale, bring that right arm down, back onto the mat. Rotate that left shin. Place that right foot down onto the mat with the bottom of the toes touching. Squeeze that core and lift yourself back up, all the way back up into dog. Shoot that left leg up one more time. And then exhale, bend that knee, that left knee. Send it into your chest. Push forward so those shoulders are directly above the wrists. Place that left foot down. Come up onto just those fingertips of the hands and slowly rotate that right foot so that it's perpendicular to the left. And then with our right arm going first, we're going to windmill our arms up and the chest up for warrior two. Here, same as high lunge, you want your knee to be directly over that ankle. And you want to reach that left hand forward, reach that right hand back. And this is supposed to be a strong pose. So make sure that that core is engaged, those arms are engaged, everything's engaged. And then as you inhale, we're going to reach forward. Left hand forward as far as it can go. When you've gone as far as you can go, bend that left elbow, send that left forearm onto the left thigh. And as you inhale, bring that right hand up and over so that your right bicep is next to that right ear. And really stretch that right arm up or over to the left and feel a deep stretch in that right side. And then on your next inhale, windmill those arms back up so they're parallel with the mat. And as you exhale, reach back behind you as far as you can go. When you've reached back as far as you can go, place that right hand on the back of the right thigh. Lift up that left hand. It can just be perpendicular to the mat, doesn't have to go over that. Make sure not a ton of your weight is in that right hand, that you're still mainly holding yourself up with the legs. Then on your next inhale, we're going to bring those arms back up. And as we exhale, we're going to windmill them back down so that they're framing that left foot. Rotate that right ankle so that both feet are now parallel. And on your next inhale, you're going to bring that right foot to meet the left. Bend both knees. Bring the front of your chest or torso to meet the front of your thighs or the top of your thighs. Sweep those arms behind you. Then as you inhale, sweep those arms up so that your biceps are next to the ears. And as you exhale, sink down. So you want to make sure that those arms are up and that torso, and not the torso, that the pelvis is being pushed down. So you're creating length in that spine or in that back body. We're going to hold this for one more breath. As you inhale, straighten those legs. Push those arms up towards the sky. Lift that chest. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, sweep those arms down. Chest follows. As you inhale, place both hands on the thighs, straighten the elbows, and look up. Then as you exhale, bring the chest down, head down as well. Place both hands onto the mat and walk out into high plank. In high plank, you want those shoulders to be right above or on top of those wrists. You want that core to be engaged. And on your next exhale, you want to bend those knees, bring them onto the mat, flip those toes so that the tops of the toes are touching. And on your next exhale, you want to push those elbows back behind you, and you want to bring that chest forward. Chin comes down first, then the chest, and as you inhale, straighten those elbows, bring the pelvis down, and look up for upward dog. And on your next inhale, bring those knees back down, bend them, come back up into table. Take a moment to find your center. And on your next inhale, you're going to flip those toes so that the bottom of the toes are touching the mat. And as you inhale, lift that pelvis, straighten those knees for downward dog. On your next inhale, we're going to lift up that right leg, bend that right knee, push that right heel into the chest and send it over to the left. Here you want to keep those shoulders parallel to the mat. And on your next exhale, you want to bring that right knee into the chest. And as you exhale, push forward, bring those shoulders on top of those wrists, and place that right foot in between the hands. Come up onto those fingertips, make your hands like little tents. Oh, and I'm going to rotate so you guys can see me. Make your hands like little tents. Rotate that back foot so it's perpendicular to the front foot. Bend that knee. And as you inhale, we're going to windmill the arms up with the left hand going first. Bend that knee. So you want that knee to be directly over the ankle, not much forward or back. Feel that right arm reach forward, that left arm reach back. Squeeze the core, and you really want to be strong in this position. On your next inhale, you want to push the right hand forward. Go as far forward as you can go. And as you exhale, bend that right elbow, send that right forearm onto the right thigh. And as you inhale, lift up that left arm. Bring that left bicep close to bring that left bicep close to the left ear. And feel a deep stretch in the left side. And you want to make sure here that not all of your weight is on that right forearm and that you're still holding the position strong. Then on your next inhale, you're going to lift up that left arm, lift up that right, and you're going to reach that left arm behind you as far as it can go. When you've gone as far as you can go backwards, exhale, lower that left hand down onto the back of the left thigh and lift up that right arm. It can just be perpendicular to the mat. And make sure you're keeping that front knee bent. Look up at that right thumb. And on your next inhale, bring both arms up, parallel to the mat. And as you exhale, we're going to windmill the arms down so that they're framing the front foot. Rotate that left ankle so that it's back to being parallel with the front foot. And on your next inhale, we're going to hop that back foot to meet the front. As you exhale, bend those knees. Sweep those arms behind you. And as you inhale, we're going to sweep those arms up and sink down. You want both biceps to be next to the ears. We're going to hold this for 2 more breaths. And on your next inhale, we're going to straighten those legs. Bring those arms up high to the sky. And as you exhale, lower down those arms. We're going to do a quick balance pose here. So as you inhale, lift up both arms so that they're parallel with the mat or the floor. Shift all of your weight over to the left foot. As you inhale, squeeze the core. Find a place maybe on the wall in front of you or the floor that isn't moving to look at. Push that left foot into the mat, and as you inhale, slowly pick up that right knee. Grab onto that right knee with your right hand, keeping the core squeezed. As you inhale, send it over to the right. And from here, we're going to go into tree. So pick if you want your foot to meet the ankle or if you wanted to meet your inner thigh. Anywhere is fine except for the knee. So place your foot in the desired position. Bring up that right arm. And as you inhale, we're going to flip those palms so they're facing the ceiling. Bring them up and let our hands meet at the top of our head for tree. And we're going to hold this for a couple of breaths. If you're having a hard time balancing, squeeze that core and really press that right foot into the left thigh or the left leg. And just keep breathing here. Feel all 4 points of that foot connect down with the mat. Feel energy shooting up through that leg, up through the torso, up through the chest, up through the neck, and out through those arms or the top of the head. And on your next exhale, release those arms, release that leg. Lengthen the spine, push those arms up, and as you exhale, sweep the arms down, bring the chest down. Place both hands onto the shins, straighten the elbows, lengthen the spine, and look up. And then as you exhale, you want to bring the head down towards the mat. Place both hands onto the mat and walk out into high plank. You want both shoulders to be right above both wrists. On your next exhale, you're going to send those knees down, flip the toes so the tops of the toes are touching the mat. And as you exhale, send that chest forward and those elbows back. The first thing you want to meet the mat is your chin. Then as you inhale, let the chest touch, straighten the elbows, bring that pelvis down, lift the chest, and look up for upward dog. Then on your next inhale, you want to bend those knees, flip the toes, set the bottom of the toes are touching the mat, squeeze the core, and on your next inhale, we're going to send the pelvis up and straighten those knees for a downward dog once again. We're just going to hold our dog here for about 2 breaths, and then that's going to be it for our dogs. So on your next inhale, you're going to lift up that left leg, bring it high to the sky, and as you exhale, send that knee into the chest and push it forward so that those shoulders are right above the wrists. Now you're going to place that left foot in between the hands, and if you need to walk out that back foot, that's fine. Slowly bring down that right knee. Place both hands on the tops of the left thigh. And as you inhale, we're going to push that front knee forward. And you want to really feel that right hip flexor pushing down towards the mat, keeping those hips squared. If you want a little bit more of a stretch in the hip flexors, you can place both hands on your lower back and push forward/down and lean back. And then your next exhale, bring those hands down so that they're framing the front foot and straighten that left leg. You want the heel or you want the toes to come up all the way and you want to really flex that front foot. Here you want to square those hips. So you want to make sure that pelvis is sending itself straight down and that your hips are parallel with the front edge of the mat. Take a deep breath in here, and as you exhale, you want to slowly walk those arms forward. When you've gone as far as you can go, bow the head and bring the chest down towards the knees for a deep hamstring stretch. And we're going to hold this here for 2 breaths, or maybe 3. But you want to make sure here that you're really breathing. And then on your next inhale, place that left foot back down onto the mat, bend that left knee, and now you're going to walk that left foot over to the right wrist. You want to send that foot behind the right wrist. And depending on how open your hips are, you can keep that shin parallel to the mat, to the front of the mat as you push forward, or maybe you want to push that left knee forward more in front of the left ankle. Either way, you want to make sure that that left ankle is flexed and that you can bring that pelvis down for pigeon. Once you're in pigeon, you want to really feel that right hip flexor pushing down. You want to feel that right knee pressed into the mat. Lift up that chest, and as you exhale, you want to slowly walk those hands forward. When you've gone as far as you can go, bow the head, bring the chest down. And on your next inhale, come back up onto the palms and walk your hands back up. Straighten the elbows, flip the back toes so that the bottom of the toes are touching the mat. Pick yourself up so that the hips are no longer on the mat. And you want to push that left heel or left foot back so that it meets the right and come up into downward dog. I know I said that we weren't going to do any more downward dogs, but I'm sorry, I lied. And then walk up, walk both feet up towards the top of the mat. Let them meet your hands. Put a slight bend in the knee. And then as you inhale, sweep those arms up, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, let those arms come down. And we're going to do tree on the other side. So press that left foot into the mat. As you inhale, you want to lift up those arms so that they're parallel with the floor. Come up onto those right toes. Squeeze the core. Find somewhere on the floor or the mat that isn't moving. And as you inhale, slowly pick up that right knee, or that left knee. I'm sorry, I got so confused. You want to slowly pick up that left knee. Once your left knee is up, you want to grab it with your left hand. And then you want to slowly send it over to that left side. And from here, we have two places that we can put our foot. So you can put your foot down onto your ankle or into your groin. Either one is fine, just not on the knee because that can cause injury. So place your foot in whatever position you choose. Make sure that all four corners of the foot are firmly pressed against the mat. Squeeze that core, and whenever you're ready, release that left hand and bring it up. Let your arms come all the way up and then meet at the top of your head, bend the elbows for tree. If you're having a tough time balancing here, you can press that left foot into the right thigh or right leg, squeeze the core, squeeze the core, and make sure you're looking somewhere that is not moving. We're going to hold this for maybe 2 more breaths. And on your next exhale, you want to release that leg and let the arms come down. And then as we inhale, sweep those arms up high towards the sky, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, you want to sweep that chest down or sweep those arms down, let the chest follow. Place both hands onto your shins, straighten the elbows and lengthen the spine and lift the chin as you inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands down, head follows. Place both hands down onto the mat. Walk out into plank. You want your shoulders to be right above those wrists. Squeeze the core, and as you exhale, bring those knees down. Flip the toes so the tops of the toes are touching the mat. On your next exhale, you want to bend those elbows and send them back and push that chest forward and down. You want the chin to meet the mat first, then the chest, and then as you inhale, we're going to push that pelvis down, straighten the arms, and straighten the legs. For upward dog, look up or slightly tilt the chin up. Make sure that those shoulders are being pushed back and push that pelvis down. Then your next inhale, you want to bend the knees and come into table. And this is actually the last time that we go into dog. So flip those toes. Let the bottom of the toes touch the mat. And as we inhale, straighten the knees, push that pelvis up. And on your next inhale, you're going to slowly lift up that right leg, bring it high to the sky. And then as you exhale, bend that right knee, send it into your chest, and push forward so that those shoulders are right above the wrists. Place that right leg or that right foot in between the hands. And if you need to, you can walk that left foot out a little bit or behind you a little bit. And as you exhale, send that left knee down to the mat. Flip the left toe so that the tops of the toes are touching the mat and the shin is making firm contact. On your next inhale, you're going to place both hands on the top of that right thigh. And we're going to slowly push that knee forward. Make sure that the knee is not coming over those toes. And if it is, maybe walk that right foot forward a little bit. Here, you want to really push down that left hip flexor to get the best stretch and to make sure that those hips are squared. If you want an even deeper hip flexor stretch, you can place both hands on the lower back and push the pelvis down and forward and lean back. And then on your next exhale, you're going to place both hands back down onto the mat to frame the foot. And we're going to straighten that right knee and let the toes come up off of the mat and flex that right foot. Take a deep breath in, lengthen that spine, and as you exhale, we're going to walk those hands forward. So we're bringing the chest forward and down over that right knee. And then when you've gone as far as you can go, take a deep exhale and bring that chest down. You want to really make sure that your hips here are parallel to the front of the mat. And then on your next inhale, bend that right knee once more. And slowly walk that right foot over to that left ankle, maybe bring it behind. If your hips aren't that open, you're going to want to bring that knee more in front of that ankle. So as you inhale, we're going to shoot that knee forward in between the hands and sink the pelvis down so that it's touching the mat. You want to press that left hip flexor down. And you want to make sure that you're really feeling a deep stretch here in the right hip. As you inhale, lift that chest, push those shoulders back. And then as you exhale, you're going to walk those hands forward as far as they can go. When you've gone as far as you can go, bow the head. With every exhale that you take, try and sink the chest forward and down, just a little bit deeper. And on your next inhale, place those hands on the mat and slowly walk them back up towards, or so that they're framing that right knee. Then flip the back foot so that the bottom of the toes are touching the mat. And as we inhale, you're going to lift that pelvis using those hands off of the mat and send that right leg back just into plank. Bend those knees so that we're in table. And then as you exhale, you want to come into a seat, comfortable seat with the sit bones touching the mat. We're going to take a moment here to recenter ourselves before we go into Shavasana. If you had any socks on or any articles of clothing or a blanket that you wanted to use for Shavasana, I invite you to take a second and get that now. I'm going to put my socks on. Once you're settled, bring both knees up and both feet flat onto the mat. And wrap both arms around the shins. Hug your knees into your chest. Let those feet come up off of the mat. And as you exhale, you want to roll back onto the mat. Keep those knees hugged into your chest and rock side to side for a little back massage. Then on your next exhale, you want to release that right leg, bring it all the way down onto the mat, and then release the left. You want your body to be flat against the mat here. Let those arms flop out to your sides. Let the legs flop out, or the feet. Take a couple of deep breaths. Mindfulness practice. Feel that breath or that inhale. Fill up the lungs. Then let it fill up the belly. And then as you exhale, feel the air slowly release and sink out of you. Feel the lungs empty, the chest empty. Then you can let your breathing return back to normal. And we're going to take a second here and reflect on the intention that you set for today. Whenever you're ready, start letting your breath become slower and deeper. If it helps you stay present, place both hands onto your stomach. And you can feel it rise and fall. Try to stay present in this moment, in a place of peace and silence and gratitude. Let your thoughts flow by like clouds. Don't engage or judge, just observe. Take a minute of gratitude here. say thank you, or just sit in a moment of appreciation for your body, for everything it does for you, for your breath, for your mind, and for the soul. Let go of any judgments, and just try to fill yourself up with love and gratitude. And then, whenever you're ready, turn onto your right side with that right elbow or right arm cradling the head. Bend those knees. On your next inhale, with the eyes closed, push yourself up into a comfortable seat using your left hand. Take one more minute of mindfulness and let yourself be present. And then, whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And that's my class. Thank you for anybody who joined the live or is watching it after. Um, I'm not sure if I'm teaching on Mondays anymore, but I will still be on the Center for Spirituality's page. Namaste.